Ladies and gentlemen, confident women approach dating with a sense of self-assurance, carrying a deep belief that they are deserving of love and respect. This belief isn't based on external validation or approval from others, but rather comes from an internal sense of wholeness and worthiness. They don't seek to complete themselves through a partner, but instead seek someone who complements their already fulfilling life. They know that their happiness is not reliant on someone else's love, but stems from their own sense of fulfillment. This mindset allows them to attract people who resonate with their self-assurance, creating a balanced and harmonious dynamic in relationships. The energy they project is one of abundance, and they draw in relationships that reflect this inner confidence. In contrast, women who are often labeled as desperate tend to approach dating from a place of neediness. This doesn't mean they are inherently desperate for attention or affection, but they may be struggling with an internal belief that they are incomplete or not worthy of love. As a result, they look to external sources, particularly a partner, to fill this perceived void. They feel that their worth is defined by how much they are loved or validated by someone else. This belief can create an energy of lack which can be felt by those around them. When a woman's sense of self is dependent on external validation, it becomes harder for her to establish a healthy, secure relationship because the foundation of her self-worth is unstable and shifting based on the behavior of others. This can create a cycle where the more they seek validation, the more they feel they lack it, pushing potential partners away. The way a woman perceives herself in relation to love has a profound impact on how she imagines and creates her relationships. A confident woman carries a strong internal image of herself as deserving of love, respect, and happiness. This self-image shapes her actions, decisions, and interactions. She doesn't need to chase or prove her worth because she already knows her value. Her confidence leads her to believe that any relationship she enters into will be built on mutual respect, love, and growth. She imagines herself in a healthy, loving partnership, and this belief naturally influences her choices, creating a reality where such a partnership can thrive. On the other hand, a woman who feels desperate often struggles to imagine herself in a positive, fulfilling relationship. Instead of focusing on the love she has for herself and what she can offer a partner, she may constantly worry about the possibility of rejection or being alone. Her thoughts may be consumed with doubt, fear, and insecurity, leading her to focus more on avoiding negative outcomes rather than attracting positive ones. In this state of mind, it becomes difficult for her to believe that she deserves the love and respect she desires. As a result, she may unconsciously push potential partners away or settle for relationships that don't serve her highest good because she is focused on the fear of losing someone rather than the joy of attracting someone aligned with her values and needs. Self-love is perhaps the most important factor that influences how a woman behaves when dating. A woman who has a deep sense of self-love approaches relationships from a place of fullness rather than lack. She understands that her worth is inherent and not dependent on the approval or affection of others. Her actions and choices in dating reflect this belief. She is not afraid to set boundaries, communicate her needs, or walk away from relationships that don't align with her values. Self-love allows her to enter relationships from a place of strength and authenticity, creating a solid foundation for lasting, meaningful connections. She knows that if a relationship isn't right for her, she doesn't have to settle, because her worth is not defined by her relationship status. In contrast, a woman who struggles with self-love may look to a partner to complete her or make her feel whole. She may seek external validation to reassure herself of her worth, and as a result, she may accept less than what she deserves in relationships. This need for validation can lead to compromising on her values or ignoring red flags, as she fears being alone or unworthy of something better. Instead of prioritizing her own well-being and needs, she may prioritize the desires or approval of others, which can create an unhealthy dynamic in relationships. Over time, this can lead to feelings of resentment, disappointment, or burnout, as her sense of self-worth is continually tied to the actions and behavior of others, rather than her own internal belief in her value. The behaviors of confident and desperate women are deeply influenced by the beliefs they hold about themselves and their worth. When a woman is confident and secure in herself, her behavior reflects her internal belief that she deserves healthy, loving relationships. She doesn't feel the need to chase or prove herself because she already knows her value. Her mindset allows her to attract relationships that align with her sense of self-worth and integrity. On the other hand, a woman who feels desperate may struggle with insecurity and a lack of belief in her own value. This internal state often manifests in behaviors that are rooted in fear, neediness, and an over-reliance on external validation. These behaviors can create unhealthy relationship dynamics and prevent her from experiencing the deep, fulfilling love she truly desires. Shifting the beliefs about one's worth and love can change the way a woman behaves in dating and transform the relationships she attracts. It's important to remember that the foundation of any meaningful relationship lies in a strong sense of self-love and confidence. By cultivating these qualities, a woman can build relationships that are based on mutual respect, love, and genuine connection, rather than fear, insecurity, or the need to fill an internal void. Confident women move through dating with a deep belief in their inherent worthiness. They understand that love and respect are not things to be earned but are natural reflections of their value. This belief influences every interaction, allowing them to radiate a sense of calm and assurance. They don't feel the need to seek validation or prove their worth because they already recognize it within themselves. This inner stability and self-awareness enable them to create healthy boundaries, communicate their needs clearly, and trust that the right partner will align with their values. Their energy is magnetic because it comes from a place of abundance and wholeness, and they naturally draw in partners who respect and value them. In contrast, women often labeled as desperate may find themselves trapped in patterns of overcompensation or overattachment. This behavior usually stems from an internal sense of lack or insecurity. Without a strong belief in their own value, they may seek external validation through a partner's attention or approval. Their actions can come across as overly accommodating or clingy, not because they lack love to give, but because they feel they need to give more in order to receive love in return. This dynamic often leads to feelings of imbalance in relationships, where the woman feels she's always chasing connection instead of allowing it to unfold naturally. These patterns of neediness can unintentionally create pressure or tension, making it harder for meaningful and lasting bonds to form. A confident woman carries a clear sense of self and what she wants in a relationship. She knows what she brings to the table and approaches dating with a mindset of discovery rather than desperation. Instead of trying to mold herself into what she thinks someone else wants, she focuses on being authentic. This self-assured approach allows her to attract partners who value her for who she truly is, rather than who she is pretending to be. This authenticity creates a dynamic where mutual respect and admiration can flourish. She isn't afraid to walk away from relationships that don't meet her needs because she trusts that something better will align with her vision for love. On the other hand, a woman who struggles with insecurity may approach dating with a mindset focused on pleasing others at the expense of her own happiness. She may hide parts of herself out of fear of rejection or try to meet every perceived expectation of her partner, even when it conflicts with her own desires or values. This tendency to prioritize others over herself can lead to resentment or feelings of being taken for granted, as she may invest far more into the relationship than she receives in return. Her fear of being alone or unloved may cause her to cling to relationships that don't serve her, perpetuating cycles of dissatisfaction and heartbreak. A confident woman understands that the foundation of any healthy relationship is self-love. She doesn't rely on her partner to fill an emotional void or provide her with a sense of identity. Instead, she nurtures her own happiness and well-being, which allows her to enter relationships as a whole, independent person. This sense of completeness enables her to form strong, balanced partnerships where love is shared, not depended upon. Because her self-worth is not tied to the actions or opinions of her partner, she is able to maintain her independence and self-respect, even in the face of challenges. She doesn't feel the need to prove her worth because she knows her value and this inner stability makes her a grounded and reliable partner. A woman who feels desperate may often place too much emphasis on the relationship as a source of her happiness and self-worth. When her sense of value is dependent on how a partner perceives or treats her, she becomes vulnerable to losing herself in the relationship. She may overlook red flags, compromise her boundaries, or stay in situations that don't align with her values simply because she fears being alone. This over-reliance on a partner for emotional fulfillment can lead to codependent dynamics, where the relationship becomes less about mutual growth and more about trying to sustain a sense of worthiness. This often leaves her feeling drained, unappreciated, and disconnected from her true self. Confident women embody a natural balance of giving and receiving in relationships. They understand that love is not about proving oneself or constantly giving to earn affection. Instead, they see love as a partnership based on equality and mutual respect. Their interactions are rooted in genuine connection rather than a need for validation. This balanced approach fosters healthy, reciprocal relationships where both partners feel valued and understood. Because they approach dating with this mindset, they are able to avoid relationships that drain them or make them feel unworthy. Their confidence allows them to trust the flow of a relationship and embrace its natural progression without fear or doubt. In contrast, women who struggle with insecurity may find it challenging to maintain this balance. They may feel compelled to give excessively or sacrifice their needs in an effort to keep the relationship intact. This imbalance often leads to feelings of burnout, frustration, or resentment as their emotional needs go unmet. They may find themselves constantly questioning their partner's feelings or overanalyzing their behavior, which creates tension and insecurity in the relationship. Instead of feeling confident and secure, they may become overly reliant on external validation to maintain their sense of self-worth, which can create a fragile foundation for love to grow. Confident women approach dating with a sense of completeness, rooted in their belief that they are already enough as they are. They do not seek someone to fix or complete them, but rather a partner to share their already fulfilling life. This deep inner sense of self-worth allows them to navigate relationships with clarity and grace. They understand their value, and this knowledge shapes their actions and decisions. They do not hesitate to set boundaries, communicate their needs, and walk away from situations that do not align with their values. Their interactions are marked by authenticity and an unwavering sense of integrity, creating space for healthy, reciprocal relationships. This energy of confidence and inner stability becomes a magnet for partners who resonate with their self-assuredness and respect them in return. Women often perceived as desperate might approach dating from a place of seeking rather than sharing. This seeking often stems from an internal sense of lack, a feeling that something essential is missing in their lives. Instead of recognizing their inherent worth, they may look to external sources, like a romantic partner, to validate their existence. This search for completion can create patterns of overgiving or overcompensation in relationships, as they try to prove their worthiness through their actions. They may feel the need to constantly reassure themselves that they are loved or wanted, leading to behaviors that come across as clingy or overly accommodating. Instead of allowing love to flow naturally, this desperation to hold on to a connection can create tension, making it difficult for a relationship to develop organically. A confident woman carries herself with an air of independence and certainty. She knows what she brings to a relationship and understands that love is a mutual exchange, not a one-sided effort. Her sense of self guides her to act in alignment with her values, ensuring that her relationships reflect her highest priorities. She is not afraid to prioritize her own needs, knowing that doing so does not make her selfish but rather demonstrates her self-respect. This balance allows her to create relationships where she feels cherished and valued, rather than drained or diminished. By remaining true to herself, she ensures that her connections are built on a foundation of mutual understanding and respect. In contrast, a woman who feels unworthy may struggle to establish healthy boundaries in her relationships. She might say yes when she means no or accept behavior that does not align with her standards, fearing that expressing her true feelings could drive her partner away. This reluctance to assert herself often stems from a fear of rejection or loss, which can lead her to sacrifice her own happiness for the sake of preserving a relationship. Over time, this pattern can erode her sense of self, leaving her feeling resentful or unfulfilled. Instead of thriving in her relationships, she may feel trapped, unable to express her authentic self or pursue her own needs. Confident women trust in the natural flow of relationships. They do not feel the need to chase or force a connection because they believe that what is meant for them will come to them in due time. This trust allows them to remain calm and composed, even in the face of uncertainty. They understand that their value does not depend on how quickly or intensely a relationship progresses, and they are comfortable with allowing things to unfold naturally. This sense of patience and trust creates a relaxed and open dynamic, enabling their relationships to grow organically and authentically. Their confidence allows them to focus on enjoying the journey rather than fixating on the destination. Women who approach dating from a place of insecurity may struggle to trust in the process. They might overanalyze every interaction or try to control the outcome of a relationship, driven by a fear of losing the connection. This need for certainty can create an atmosphere of tension, as their actions are often guided by fear rather than confidence. Instead of enjoying the present moment, they may constantly worry about the future, wondering if the relationship will last or if their partner truly cares for them. This anxiety can place unnecessary pressure on the relationship, making it harder for genuine connection and trust to develop. Confident women embody a natural balance in their relationships. They understand that love is about giving and receiving, not about proving or earning someone's affection. They are comfortable expressing their feelings and needs, and they expect the same level of honesty and respect in return. This balance allows them to build partnerships that feel equal and fulfilling, where both parties contribute to the growth and happiness of the relationship. They are not afraid to address issues or have difficult conversations, knowing that their worth is not tied to the outcome of these interactions. This ability to remain grounded and composed strengthens their relationships, allowing them to navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Women who lack confidence may struggle to maintain this balance. They might find themselves giving too much or holding back their true feelings out of fear of upsetting their partner. This imbalance often leads to feelings of frustration or exhaustion, as they feel they are constantly giving without receiving the same level of effort in return. Over time, this dynamic can lead to burnout or dissatisfaction, as they become increasingly disconnected from their own needs and desires. Their fear of losing the relationship may prevent them from addressing these imbalances, leaving them stuck in situations that do not truly fulfill them. The way a woman approaches dating is a reflection of how she views herself. When a woman carries a strong sense of self-worth and confidence, she naturally attracts relationships that reflect her inner stability and strength. Her actions and decisions are guided by her understanding of her own value, creating connections that are rooted in mutual respect and authenticity. Conversely, when a woman feels uncertain of her worth or fears being alone, she may find herself drawn to situations that mirror these insecurities. Recognizing her inherent value and cultivating a sense of inner fulfillment allows her to break free from patterns of insecurity and create the loving, balanced relationships she truly deserves. Confident women carry themselves as though they already possess the love and relationship they desire. They embody the qualities of someone who is deeply loved, cherished, and valued, which reflects in their energy and actions. This approach is not about pretending or faking confidence, but about genuinely believing they are deserving of the kind of love they seek. This belief allows them to show up in relationships as secure, calm, and self-assured individuals. They trust the process of connection and do not feel the need to force or manipulate outcomes because they already feel fulfilled within themselves. Their ability to remain composed and content, regardless of external circumstances, creates a magnetic presence, naturally drawing the kind of relationships that match their inner state of confidence and security. In contrast, women who operate from a place of fear or insecurity often struggle to envision themselves as already loved or valued. Instead of embracing the idea that they are worthy and whole as they are, They may focus on the lack of love in their lives or the fear of not finding a partner. This mindset can manifest as anxious or overbearing behavior as they seek constant reassurance or try to control the progression of a relationship. When their focus is on what is missing rather than what they desire, their actions may inadvertently repel the very connection they are seeking. This can create a cycle of frustration and disappointment, where their fear of being alone or unworthy is reinforced by the outcomes they experience in their relationships. Confident women understand that their actions, thoughts, and beliefs must align with the kind of love they want to experience. They behave in ways that reflect their trust in their worth and the inevitability of finding a healthy, fulfilling relationship. This alignment guides their decisions, from the boundaries they set to the partners they choose to engage with. They are not afraid to walk away from situations that do not serve them because they believe that something better awaits them. This unwavering belief in their value allows them to remain selective and intentional in their approach to dating, ensuring that the connections they invest in are meaningful and aligned with their desires. On the other hand, women who are unsure of their worth may find themselves settling for relationships that fall short of their true desires. They may stay in situations that feel unbalanced or unfulfilling out of fear that nothing better will come along. This fear can lead them to compromise their values or tolerate behavior that doesn't align with their standards. Instead of embodying the confidence of someone who knows their value, they may act out of desperation, trying to hold on to relationships that aren't right for them. This behavior not only diminishes their sense of self-worth, but also makes it harder for them to attract the kind of love they truly desire. Confident women carry a sense of inner peace and self-assurance that allows them to trust the natural flow of relationships. They do not feel the need to chase or pressure their partners because they understand that real love cannot be forced. Instead, they focus on cultivating their own happiness and fulfillment, knowing that this energy will naturally attract the right partner. Their ability to remain patient and composed in the face of uncertainty demonstrates their belief in their own value and the inevitability of finding a relationship that aligns with their desires. This calm and grounded energy creates a safe and inviting space for genuine connection to flourish. In contrast, women who feel anxious or insecure may struggle to trust in the process of dating. They might overanalyze every interaction or seek constant reassurance from their partner, driven by a fear of being abandoned or rejected. This fear-based approach can create tension and unease in the relationship, making it difficult for genuine trust and intimacy to develop. Instead of focusing on the qualities they want in a partner or relationship, their attention is often consumed by doubts and worries, which can cloud their judgment and lead to choices that do not serve their highest good. This cycle of fear and insecurity can make it harder for them to experience the love and connection they desire. Confident women live as though the relationship they want is already theirs. They carry themselves with dignity, self-respect, and an unshakable belief in their own worth. This mindset influences every aspect of their dating experience, from how they interact with potential partners to how they handle rejection or setbacks. They do not see challenges or delays as signs of failure, but as opportunities to grow and refine their understanding of what they want. Their ability to maintain this positive and proactive outlook allows them to approach dating with curiosity and openness, creating a fertile ground for meaningful connections to take root. Confident women understand that true connection is not something to be chased or forced, but rather something that naturally unfolds when both people align in values, desires, and emotional readiness. They approach relationships with a sense of ease and authenticity, trusting that the right partner will recognize and appreciate them for who they truly are. Their energy is calm and inviting, free from the anxiety or urgency to make something happen. They focus on being present, enjoying the process of getting to know someone, and allowing the relationship to develop organically. This mindset creates a foundation for a deeper, more meaningful connection because it is rooted in mutual respect and shared energy rather than control or desperation. Women who feel a sense of insecurity or lack in their lives may approach relationships with a very different energy. Instead of allowing a connection to naturally develop, they might feel the need to actively work to secure the other person's affection. This could manifest as overanalyzing interactions, seeking constant reassurance, or putting immense pressure on themselves to appear perfect. When their actions are driven by fear or scarcity, they may unintentionally push away the very connection they long for. Instead of creating a space for mutual understanding and growth, their behavior can create tension and a sense of imbalance, making it harder for a relationship to flourish. A confident woman enters relationships with a clear understanding of her own value. She doesn't approach dating from a place of wanting someone to complete her, because she already feels whole and fulfilled within herself. Her primary goal isn't to gain approval or validation, but to determine whether a potential partner aligns with her values and goals. This self-assured approach allows her to set boundaries, communicate openly, and make decisions that honor her needs and desires. She trusts that if a connection is meant to be, it will feel effortless and natural. And if it isn't, she is perfectly capable of moving forward without losing her sense of self-worth. In contrast, a woman who feels uncertain about her value might struggle to set healthy boundaries or communicate her true needs. She may hesitate to express her feelings or preferences out of fear that doing so could lead to rejection. This fear often leads to overcompensating, agreeing to things she isn't comfortable with, suppressing her emotions, or prioritizing the other person's happiness at her own expense. Over time, these patterns can erode her confidence and lead to resentment, as she feels unappreciated or unseen. Instead of attracting a connection based on mutual respect and love, she may find herself in relationships that feel unbalanced or unsatisfying. Confident women understand the importance of emotional independence in fostering true connection. They know that a relationship is most fulfilling when it is built on two individuals who bring their full, authentic selves to the table. Because they are secure in their own lives and identities, they are not overly reliant on their partner to provide them with happiness or validation. This independence allows them to approach their relationships with curiosity and openness, creating space for their partner to feel safe and appreciated. Their self-sufficiency doesn't make them cold or distant. Instead, it enhances the connection because it removes the weight of unrealistic expectations. Women who approach relationships from a place of neediness may unintentionally place too much pressure on their partner to fulfill their emotional needs. When their sense of worth is tied to how their partner feels or acts toward them, they might struggle to maintain a healthy balance in the relationship. This can lead to codependency, where they prioritize their partner's needs above their own and become overly focused on keeping the relationship intact. Instead of fostering a genuine, equal connection, this dynamic can create feelings of imbalance and dissatisfaction for both parties, ultimately making it difficult for the relationship to thrive. Confident women are skilled at recognizing and honoring the natural flow of relationships. They don't feel the need to rush or control the process because they trust that the right connection will unfold at the right time. This trust stems from their deep understanding of their own value and the belief that they deserve a relationship that aligns with their desires and needs. They don't interpret a partner's slower pace as a lack of interest or worth, but instead see it as an opportunity to build a strong, stable foundation. This patience and willingness to let things evolve naturally make them stand out as partners who are grounded and emotionally mature. On the other hand, women who feel insecure in relationships may struggle to allow things to progress at a natural pace. They might interpret a lack of immediate progress as a sign of disinterest or failure, which can lead them to push for more attention or commitment prematurely. This urgency can create stress within the relationship and may cause the other person to feel pressured or overwhelmed. Instead of focusing on the present moment and enjoying the process of building a connection, their focus might shift to the fear of losing the relationship, which can hinder their ability to fully engage and connect on a deeper level. A confident woman knows that attracting true connection starts with her relationship with herself. By nurturing her own emotional well-being and staying grounded in her self-worth, she creates an inner stability that radiates outward. Her sense of confidence and calm draws others to her, not because she's trying to impress them, but because her energy feels safe and genuine. This authenticity allows her to connect with others on a deeper level, free from the distractions of insecurity or fear. She doesn't need to chase love or approval because she knows that what is meant for her will naturally find its way into her life. A woman's beliefs about herself shape the way she navigates relationships and the type of connections she attracts. Confident women operate from a place of deep self-belief, rooted in the understanding that they are deserving of love, respect, and happiness. This inner foundation drives their actions, choices, and how they show up in the dating world. They carry an unshakable sense of worth, which allows them to move with clarity and purpose. They aren't easily swayed by external circumstances or the opinions of others because their internal beliefs serve as their compass. This self-assuredness creates a magnetic energy that draws in partners who align with their values and aspirations. The women who lack this internal stability often find themselves held back by limiting beliefs. These beliefs may stem from past experiences, societal pressures, or unresolved insecurities, leading them to question their worth or doubt their ability to attract the kind of relationship they desire. They may carry the notion that love is something they must earn, prove themselves worthy of, or fight to keep. This creates patterns of overcompensation, where their actions are driven by fear or a need for external validation rather than self-assurance. These internal beliefs can manifest as settling for less than they deserve, accepting disrespectful behavior, or staying in unfulfilling situations out of fear of being alone. Confident women actively work to align their internal beliefs with the love they want to experience. They are aware that their thoughts and feelings have a direct influence on their reality. If they believe they are worthy of love, they act in ways that reflect this belief, setting healthy boundaries, making empowered choices, and prioritizing their well-being. This alignment ensures that their energy and actions resonate with the kind of relationship they seek. Instead of focusing on the lack of love or fearing rejection, they concentrate on cultivating self-love and envisioning the type of partnership that feels fulfilling and supportive. This shift in mindset enables them to approach relationships with optimism, patience, and a sense of security. Women who struggle with negative or disempowering beliefs often find themselves stuck in cycles of doubt and frustration. They may view themselves as unworthy of deep, meaningful connections, which can cause them to unconsciously sabotage potential relationships. For instance, they might interpret minor challenges as confirmation of their fears or project insecurities onto their partner, creating unnecessary tension. These patterns are not a reflection of their true worth, but rather the outcome of unresolved internal doubts. Until these beliefs are addressed and transformed, they can hinder the ability to experience the love and connection they desire. Confident women recognize the power of self-awareness in shifting their beliefs. They take the time to reflect on their thoughts, feelings, and patterns, understanding that awareness is the first step toward change. By identifying limiting beliefs, they can challenge and replace them with more empowering perspectives. For example, instead of believing that love is hard to find, they shift to the belief that the right connection will naturally flow into their lives. This process of reframing their thoughts allows them to break free from fear-based mindsets and embrace a more abundant and open-hearted approach to relationships. With this shift, they no longer feel the need to chase or force love, but instead trust in their ability to attract it effortlessly. On the other hand, women who remain unaware of their limiting beliefs may continue to repeat patterns that do not serve them. They might hold on to narratives about themselves that keep them stuck, such as "I'm not good enough, I'll never find someone," or "love always ends in pain." These beliefs, whether conscious or unconscious, shape their actions and decisions, leading to behaviors that reinforce their fears. For example, they may avoid expressing their needs, settle for less than they deserve, or engage in self-sabotaging behaviors because they expect disappointment. Breaking free from these patterns requires a willingness to examine and shift the beliefs that are driving them. Confident women also understand the importance of self-compassion in transforming their internal beliefs. They do not judge themselves harshly for having insecurities or doubts. Instead, they approach their growth with kindness and patience. They acknowledge that everyone has moments of uncertainty and that healing and change take time. By cultivating self-compassion, they create a safe and supportive inner environment that allows them to explore their beliefs without fear or resistance. This gentle approach enables them to replace self-criticism with self-empowerment, fostering a sense of resilience and confidence that extends into their relationships. Women who struggle with self-compassion may find it difficult to challenge their limiting beliefs because they are overly critical of themselves. Instead of viewing their insecurities as opportunities for growth, they may see them as flaws or failures, which can lead to feelings of shame or hopelessness. This self-criticism often exacerbates their doubts, making it harder to shift their mindset and attract the relationships they desire. Learning to treat themselves with kindness and understanding is a crucial step in breaking free from these cycles and building a stronger sense of self-worth.